Hello, my name is Cornelius and today we'll be talking about this self-development test that I had to take for my communication group and organization class 2655. And what this survey was to see how well I think I communicate with others in the organization, how well I'm developed in those categories that I will soon talk about. What it took four topics I want to say. How well you think you communicate or develop, or how well you're developed in an organization. It was knowledge, sensitivity, skills, and values. And then after they gave you those four topics, they broke them down into four categories, which was highly developed, moderately developed in that, somewhat limited, and needing development in these categories. And you gave you 39 statements that you had to answer. And when I broke it down, I noticed that my highly developed was 0 and my needing developed was 0. All my answers fell in the middle too, which was moderately developed and somewhat limited. And when I broke it down, highly developed was 0. I had moderately developed was 26, and somewhat developed I answered with 13, and needing developed was 0. So then what I did was I looked at it, broke it down some more. I said, my moderately I answered 5. My somewhat developed I answered 4, and that was for knowledge. Then for sensitivity I answered 10, and 1 for somewhat developed. And the 10 was for moderate developed. My skill level for moderate developed was 6, and somewhat developed for skill level was 5. For my values, my skill level was, my moderate developed was 5, and my somewhat developed was 2, which came to 26 and 13, which is 39 statements that I answered. Okay, then what I did is a couple of questions. I couldn't go on all the questions, so I just picked up someone that I like to share with you, which was one of the statements that I got. This one was moderately developed. Identify characteristics of leadership and management and communication. I believe I'm pretty good at that. I mean, I can identify it. I need work in it, but I'm well developed. I think I'm developed enough to understand how to do that. Then the other statement was, and this one is somewhat developed, somewhat limited. I'm sorry. Is understanding major theories and how organizations work. The reason why I put somewhat limited on that one, because I know how to do what I need to do and communicate that to others. Now, communicating the theory behind it, sometimes I might not understand or might not know as well. So that's why I put somewhat developed with that question. Okay, now, sensitivity. My personal responsibility for organization communication. I don't understand my personal responsibility and communicate that to other people, that they should know their responsibility, their personal responsibility. And that's why I picked that, because I think I'm pretty well in that, and I can communicate that to others. Now, the other one, which was somewhat limited, was how the shared realities are generated through organization and communication. The reason why I kind of picked that one, because I wasn't really sure, but I think I know what it's talking about. It's talking about how my reality of how something should go compared to somebody else's reality, how something should go, or something like that. And we gather it together to come to for a cause. I believe that's what it's saying, because my reality and somebody else's reality, it's going to probably be a little bit different on how we feel we should communicate things in the organization. Now, let's go down to a skill question. Engaging in active listening. I believe I'm pretty well could communicate that with others, how to engaging and active listening, which is basically if somebody's trying to give me a message or talking to me, I engage in them, not just listening, but I listen and then I have questions when they done, and the questions goes back to what they said to really reinstate what they had said, to get them to understand that I understand what they're saying and that to make it clear. So that's why you engage in the question, go back and forth. You don't just sit there and listen, but you ask questions on what they said to make sure and be clear of what the message is coming across. The other one for skill, this one was somewhat limited. It showed developing and making public presentations. I'm good at making presentations. I'm okay at it. I'm not saying go say good. I'm okay in developing. Okay, that's why I put somewhat. I could do it, and I could communicate that with others to how to do it. But I put somewhat because I feel that I need a lot more development in that situation. Now let's go to the values. Values of accepting personal responsibility for communication. I believe I could come across and communicate that with others, accepting your responsibility, which you have been responsible. You need to take that and accept it. And I believe that I'm developed well enough to understand that and communicate it with others. Another one I picked two for this one was determining how leadership and management should behave. That I could communicate with others by showing the example. When you're in a leadership role, you should not just say stuff, but you should show it by example on how to behave. Whatever the policy is, or whatever the organization you're in, you being a leader, you show that, and that's how I communicate that with others. The last statement was using conflict for productive outcomes. I'm okay in that, but I need a lot of work in it. I guess using conflict to come out with a productive outcome. Now, I understand that all conflict is not negative, but it's understanding how to use that conflict for the productive. I can do it, and I understand and how to communicate that with others, but I need work on making it better. So that was the survey that I took today, and what I've learned is I'm strong in some of these categories. Not strong. I'm good. I'm okay. And some of them I need a lot more work. But none of them was needing development, which I believe is I didn't know nothing, or I'm not developed at all in it. And then some was highly developed. That's my goal, is to get my moderate and my somewhat developed all over on highly developed. I want to be highly developed. That's my goal. In the future, to take this same survey, and then my goal is to be all on one. So thank you for tuning in to this video on my development of how I feel that I communicate with others in an organization. I thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.